Oscar, Bobb and Erling Haaland. Isn't it?
That is correct.
That's correct.
Oscar Bobb now plays for the best team in England. Do you think he should be picked for the first team, Norway first team now, because he's been in the under-21s?
It's not action for me. A question for me. It's no question for me. I don't know. I think he knows, Solbakken knows perfectly what he has to do.
What do you think about the Norwegian coach that can pick two so good players, like Erling and Oscar, in front?
I think Solbakken knows that he will see it if he sees the games against Newcastle, one of the Champions League team is away, how good he played. So, but after the decision is being made by him.
Yeah. Hey Pep, you've been quite outspoken about the workload on players over the last few years because of the schedule. Vincent Kompany said yesterday that he thinks that there should be a limit on the number of games that players at the very top can play in a season. Is that something that you would go along with? Have you any ideas on how you make the scheduling any better for the players?
I would say that every idea that you reduce a little bit the amount of games for the players, especially, would be nice. But there's not going to be change. There is only one solution to change something, but maybe all the players think about that, or all the money think about that. Is the players decide for themselves. The organization said, stop. We have to change something. And after FIFA, UEFA, and all the statements, they will maybe react a little bit, because this business, the show must go on. Without Pep, must keep going. But without the players, the show will not go on. That's for sure. So it depends on them. They decide if they accept, because it's a big business. We have a big salaries and everyone. Like the president of UEFA said to Jurgen and to me, don't complain because you win a lot of money. It's okay. So what can I say? So we will do the same job. So we start to play football in the streets and without, just for the passion. And now I'm lucky. We are lucky to have here. But if I like to train, I will train everywhere in the high divisions or low divisions. It's not about that. I love my duty just to protect a little bit, to be more quality, more, and that. But it's going to completely the opposite. It's completely the opposite. So it's not that only the situation will happen in Spain with the women's team. The players decide we have to change something, and they change it. They did it. The women's teams is for the first step ever that they change something. The players decide we have something inside to protect players, the future of the women's team for the new generations. What the biggest legacy have done is that it's not talking about personal person or what they have to change. No. Talk something that is beyond the structure. We have to change it. They change it, not the federation. They say, no. We don't make a step forward and we don't change something, but for the future generations, they did it. The women's team in Spain, they did it. I don't know, in the world football, the men's are able to do it.
Do you get the sense that players are thinking about their welfare more now than they ever had before? Because I remember Rodri said to us in the summer that he talked to the club about the amount of games that he played last season, and he felt that he couldn't do it anymore.
But the players sometimes complain, especially when you play all the time. When you don't play one game, after complain why you don't play. So the question is complain. But I think in general that the players maybe in the future will feel it. I don't know, because Afian Rodri is not here, or the players will play 60 games. So there are another ones that they can play. So it's what I said. I love to play good football games. It's just when it's a break, has to be a proper break. This is my point of view. So the players, when finish the season, have to. Always I put example for NBA. NBA play 18 games in, a few months. But after have 4 months off or 3 months off, you don't play the finals, and you can regenerate it, the managers and everything, new ideas. And after full. The problem is full, and after have 3 weeks off. So it's for me it's a lot, but it's my personal opinion. I don't want to influence, because I'm not going to influence anyone. But I think it has to be the players. If the players want to change something, football is the only ones can do it.
Hi Pep, it's a big day for Nunes tomorrow, going back to Wolves. What sort of reaction do you think he'll get from the Wolves crowd? Because the way he left, I think it upset Wolves a little bit, maybe.
Only I said when Matheus spoke with him about that is what the people say what happened that the no training session was not true. It was not his decision. But it had been said, had been told, and after that the people can say it. But he said to me, I never, ever said I'm not going to train. This is what happened to me. I know now was his player, now he's a rival. Hopefully he's strong, to accept the situations and do it.
You've been very impressed with him since he...
Yeah. All of them, like I said to him, all the 4 or 5 players came really, really good.
And just one more, Pep, in Spain this week, Girona are top of the Spanish league. You fancy them in the Champions League next season, going up against your brother maybe?
That would be a dream. Will be a dream for City Football Group and of course for Girona. So far it's not about for the fact they are top of the league right now, because at the end of the 7 games is not much, but for a team for Girona is good. The target is next season playing the Premier League. Always with the Premier League in the Liga. Always we thought the Girona can stay not up and down, stay 4, 5, 6 years in the Liga, will be stable every year, stronger. Can be a stable team in the Liga like I've never been before for many years. But the most surprised the most is the fact how good they are playing. So they are better every game than the opponents. They create more chances than the opponent. They concede less than the opponents. And the style is so attractive. The recruitment that they have done, the sport director, has been unbelievable. And the manager, I know him a little bit, is top-class manager. So sooner or later will be one of the top teams in any league. So, and personally, like I have, of course, my brother there as a part of that. But a part of that, I have many friends there. He's a part of the group. We are more than delighted and happy. Hopefully they can stay longer.
Pep, on the calendar issue, you were just talking about your love for the job, for football. When you see the prospect of a bigger Champions League, a bigger Club World Cup, every football institution trying to expand their own competitions, does it affect your passion for football at all?
No. But also I like a lot, like all of us, to have a break mentally, don't think about the players and, see the Ryder Cup and relaxing and that. It's nice for all of us. It's normal. After when I have 2 weeks, 3 weeks without a game of football, I would love to be on the pitch again. But sometimes always we want what we don't have, but it's not about me. At the end, I don't run. Of course, to prepare the games, sometimes always tired, and today is so demanding. Everyone want to beat you, and I have to be prepared of that. But in general, I'm okay. So passions always will be there. Otherwise, Rod Hodgson would not be still managing. So managers have something addictive, for that profession. But sometimes to enjoy more the victories or suffer more the defeats a bit longer, to process longer, analyze longer. What I miss the most in my job, I don't have time to see what really happened. I have to take a distance, how is the relation with the player, how it's going. I have to take a distance. We don't have to take a distance. We cannot, to go home 2 days and after see what happened, to be more. Always my concern is I am judging, analyzing well what really happened about the players, the games, how we are playing. I'm analyzing well because right after the game I have to be here in front of you to say really what happened. And sometimes, I don't know, sometimes after 1 or 2 days, I was wrong what I thought would really happen. And today we don't have time for that. We don't have time. So go the train, the bus, arrive here. I have to admit, guys, it's not a problem to go to the bus, all of you. Not a problem. When I was young, I traveled with the bus all the time, 7-8 hours to play a game. It's not about that. It's just what happened to us later. And after arrive here, and today training, and we have to travel this afternoon by bus anyway, so to Wolves to play the game. So, and that I would like to have more distance. What happened in Newcastle, what happened in the Bulls, and you cannot do it. That is only, I don't like.
And if you compare to the times that you were a football player, the number of games per season and the speed of the games, is it fair to say that the type of players changed, the profile of players? What is demanded from them now?
Well, to buy a player right now, you can be, his history, I'll always say, is consistent every 3 days. But Jeremy Doku is not used to play every 3 games a week. In Rennes didn't happen. He's not used to in this level. And I don't know how he's going to react every 3 days. That's why we are managing, and knowing what's going to happen. But today have the players like playing the positions, they are stable, like Ruben, for example, like, Kyle or Rodri. And when you have this type of players, it's heaven, because that helps us to be less players in the squad. That helps a lot. And Julian, for example, this type of players to be there, Riyad when it happen. This type of players help us feel. This type of players help us a lot as a team.
I'm going to try and rattle through a few of you guys. So you can do one each. That'd be helpful. Okay. Richard,
just back to matters in Spain, Pep. Do you have any comment or reaction about the allegations Barcelona are facing about referee influencing?
Wait and sit.
Wait.
Yeah. This will happen against us when everyone accuses, that when they do something wrong. Let the justice or the process do and the other one. So far what I heard, I didn't see or I didn't read because I am out of that, but I didn't see the Barcelona really pay a referee to take a benefit. I didn't see that. I didn't read it specific, but that's why I want to wait before to have an opinion, because it's Barcelona is going to defend what you have to do, and we will see. What I'm pretty sure is when Barcelona won, and winning in Spain, you have to do much better the other teams. When Barcelona win, it's because we're better than the opponents. That I am pretty convinced right now. And I was there. So we won it because we were far better than our rivals. That's why. And when they were not, they don't win. They lose. So, but the justice will decide what really happened.
Thank you.
Hi, Pep. It's just about the amount of games and the small spaces, the small amount of time between games. Is one thing you could do in future just to have a bigger squad? Because I know you like to have a smaller squad. So is there at no point there's a benefit to having more players?
It's not sustainable first for the clubs. Because the people say, you have 90 players, okay? Or 20 then. And after you have 1 year, 6 injuries. You should feel longer squad. But what happened after that, when you don't have injuries in one season, you have 25 players. How I can manage, play just 11, 14 players don't play during a long time. I don't want to be a manager. If I suffer I prefer that situation. It's a risk, it's okay. If it is more sustainable for the clubs, because every new player is a transfer, is a salaries and whatever. That's why that when you recruitment, you have to be, okay, this player can play in 3 or 4 positions, Bernardo can play in 2, 3, Phil can play in 2, 3, 4 positions, Julian as well can play in different positions, Oscar Bobb, for example, can play their positions. So you don't need an extra. The people say, I want 2 players for each position. I'm not agree with that. I'm not agree. Because at the end, to be effective, you have to be regularly start 11 and make 2 or 3 substitutes. When you make a rotation 6 or 7 every week, it doesn't work well, because the mechanism is sometimes accept a lot of games and they are exhausted. So after it happened. But I don't think it's going to happen. If I want less games, go in a team. If they want me, no play European competitions. And after will be long weeks. So that's for sure. But when you're having top teams and you are lucky to play European competitions, when that's happened, again, now we have to accept it. I put on the table, but I'm saying that I know it's not going to be changed. So I accept it. I don't know my career. 12 or 13 years being a manager, even when I was a football player in Barcelona, I've lived that all the time. It's just now is the rhythm is more, the rest between games is less, and that is the big difference. But always I live it, so, and it was quite well, honestly.
Last couple of guys, Gideon and Will.
Hi, but is there a positive to be taken out of going out of the Carabao Cup? Not, we talked about a little bit about fixture congestion and stuff, but I'm thinking sort of psychologically in as much it takes a quadruple or a possible quadruple off the table. So
but we thought about quadruple. Did you hear me or the team club? We're going to win the quadruple this season. So the travel is just 2 teams in Leicester, Man United and his neighbors. So the only ones that do it. So quadruple is had to be absolutely perfect. Had 20 players, never one injured, and being beyond exceptional. That it's not happened. So we won 4 times Carabao Cup, and went on like this. So the guys who didn't play do it, and they behave top. First half was beyond exceptional. That's why they react, because they could not accept the first half that they concede. We played really, really good, and we were happy to move forward. Like that's why we won 4 in a row. Once we are away, then this happened because we play against Newcastle away, guys. So we have to respect how good they are, and they prove it again. So the day of the game, after the game, was, God, we are out, and we could do this. In the first half, we made the chances, or whatever, had to defend better, or attack better, or whatever. So after the day after like this, now it's gone on. It's out of our mind. Carabao is not for us. Okay, with the schedule, we have a long week. Okay, we have 1 or 2 days off. We have 3 or 4 proper training sessions to prepare something that we're going to use. In January, while it's after, Boxing Day or whatever, we have a long weeks. Maybe we can go Abu Dhabi to training. Maybe we can training here. Yeah, it happened last season. With that, we take the positive way to that, and have more training sessions, and we do it. It's going to happen. No problem.
Just going back to Nunes, obviously you saw him at Sporting, and then he went to Wolves last season and joined a Wolves team that had a very poor first half of the season. When you're looking at players that I'm sure you're keeping track of and see how they go, are you looking to see how they are in a team that are struggling in the mentality that Nunes had last season to keep improving at Wolves?
Wolves.
Yeah, in the first half of last season.
Well, Wolves last season this season especially was a lot of changes.
Last season they were bottom going into the World Cup. So he joined a team that did well in the end.
Yeah, I know. That's why the job has done Lopetegui, Julen there was exceptional. I think he didn't get the credit that he deserved, Julen. So took the team in the bottom, but bottom, and finished 1 or 2 or 3 games before, and the season was out of the relegation zone. So, and after this season, there was a lot of change. I think some players go to Saudi Arabia and import players there, moved on. But I see the team with my colleague O'Neill is doing well. The result didn't get it, but the way they play, you have to be careful because they are good, really, really good what they do, and the ability what they have.
Was it interesting to see how Nunes reacted in that team that started off poorly and got better, and how he evolved within that team?
But I think he came from Sporting de Lisboa, like always in the top, and after that being there, I think he behaved good. He behaved really good. Sometimes you know reality, and the level he played, we know him a little bit from Sporting de Lisboa. Before contact with him, we spoke with several players. We know him, and Julen as well. How is him? In which position he played, and he adapted well. So that's why I think he was more than correct. He did everything, to make balls what the place he deserved to be. They deserve to be.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you.